welcome to the Constant Hiker. In just under 3 weeks time I returned to the UK to resume my walk from Land's End to John O'Groats. I should be returning to Hay-on-Wye where I finished my walk 8 months ago in August, and I've just been checking through all my gear that I used on that hike and replaced one or two bits and pieces. The thing that I've been mostly concerned with though is the shoes I'll be wearing on the hike. On that hike and for the last roughly 3 years I've been using these, the Sportiva Ultra Raptor. Now I really like these shoes, they're great, they're really sturdy, they're lightweight, quick drying. They're really a good shoe. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, last summer in the West Country where I started my walk, I had a problem with my left foot. This consisted of a fairly large blister on the sole of my foot and eventually a painfully swollen big toe that required hospital treatment. Now, I put this down to the hot humid weather that the UK was experiencing at the time, and eventually I solved the problem by the purchase of another pair of Raptors, but in half a size larger, and after that I never had any more problems. However, on returning from the hike I called into an outdoor shop in the UK and purchased a pair of these Ultra Lone Peak 4s. Now I watch quite a lot of YouTube hiking videos, particularly of Americans hiking like the Pacific Crest Trail and the Appalachian Trail, etc. And I noticed that a lot of them were wearing these shoes, so I became curious, and when I saw a pair in the outdoor shop as I returned home, I bought them. And the thing that attracted me to them was this wide toe box, which seems to be the answer to any problems with swollen toes or whatever. However, having looked at them and done a little bit of walking in them, I'm now not convinced that they're a shoe to replace the Raptor. I have to say from the off they are extremely comfortable, almost like walking in carpet slippers. I mean, they really are comfortable. However, I think that may cause a problem over a period of time. I may be wrong, but to me I don't feel comfortable setting off on a really long hike on a shoe that's quite as bendy as this. Bend them almost in half, and I noticed on a couple of occasions when I was out walking in these, sharp stones, I trod on a couple of sharp stones and they pressed up through the really spongy sole into my heel, which I could actually feel and made me wince at one point in pain. I also didn't like the feeling that I had no protection around my foot. Now on the surface you'd think, well, they're both trail shoes, they're both lightweight, roughly 350 grams a shoe, so there can't be that much difference, but when you pick up the Raptor it instantly feels different. It's solid for a start off. There's no way I can bend this in half. Okay, the toe at the front bends where your foot bends, but other than that I can hardly twist it at all. The heel is protected by this plastic reinforcing material here and down the sides, so that keeps all the back and the heel in place and keeps your heel nicely locked into that heel cup there. Other than that, I mean, they're mesh. I think there's probably more mesh on these than there are on the Ultras, but I've never had a problem with these drying or anything like that. They dry very quickly. The only slight issue I have with them is that La Sportiva grade the material in their soles by the use of this system here, the green cross. The material they call FriXion. The green is a very soft material, one of the softest out of their range. They do 5 or 6 different grades. This gives these a fantastic grip. Unfortunately, the downside is they also wear down fairly quickly. I have noticed, however, recently that they are now selling these with a white cross on, which is a much more durable sole than the green one. So next time I purchase a pair, I'll probably look for a pair with a white cross on to give me that extra durability. Of course, you probably sacrifice a little bit of grip, but it's probably a good trade-off. But having deliberated over the last couple of weeks about which pair to use, I've decided to stick with the Raptors. I know them, I can trust them. I've walked hundreds of miles in a pair of Raptors in all sorts of terrain, from canal tow paths through peaty moorland to the mountains of the far northwest of Scotland. So I know that these will be up to the job, and I feel more comfortable walking with a shoe that I'm already familiar with. So that's just a quick rundown of why I chose those over the Ultras. I think the Ultra is a good shoe, but I'm not so sure that I'm comfortable hiking in it through rocky mountainous terrain with a shoe being that bendy and that soft. To me, the Raptor is more up to the job. It's a sort of halfway house really between a trail runner and a walking boot. It's got the advantages of a trail runner and also the advantages of a boot, but none of the disadvantages of a boot. And it's been my go-to shoe for around 3 years now. I'll be doing a fuller update on the Lone Peak, Ultra Lone Peak 4s when I've done a bit more walking in them, but for the time being, my long hike coming up next month, I'm using the Ultra Raptors. Thanks for watching, and if you found any value in this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.